So today we are doing pork chops. My preferred way really is in the air fryer, but we are going to use a cast iron skillet. Great thing about cast iron skillets is if you season them right, everything you cook in them will be just fantastic. So you have to use a vegetable oil with anything you're going to bake or finish in the oven. Otherwise, the temperature will get too hot and the oil will smoke. There's a couple ways of figuring out if your oil is ready to use. Number one is just put your hand over it. If you can't really stand to have it above it for maybe 5 or 6 seconds, it's hot enough. Another way is just taking a little bit of water, and what you do is just sprinkle it like that. If the water dances, then it's good. You can see it starting to dance there. So I have used a dry rub on this. This is my own dry rub. It's really kind of a lot just to tell you what's in it. But if you want a good spicy dry rub, which this is, another possibility is using the Creole seasoning. It works really, really well. So anyway, I can feel the heat on the pork chop or on the skillet. So what we'll do is just drop them in, and you can hear that sizzle. That's what you want right there. And so what we will do is probably do 3 to 4 minutes on each side so that they'll brown up nice on both sides. And then we're going to put them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm only going to do 10 because I have a convection oven and it cuts about cooking time about 20 to 25%. Salt and pepper to taste before you season it. If you don't want to use any type of seasoning, salt and pepper is fine. The one complaint I hear most about pork chops is they dry out, and this is coming up really faster, so we probably aren't going to be keeping this on each side for 3 to 4 minutes here. Yeah, you can tell how brown they're getting. So right now we're probably looking at maybe a minute on each side. But the best way to tell whether your pork chop is done is when it starts to plump right around here. And that's kind of pivotal time, because if you don't, it'll dry out. I know there's a lot of kind of an old myth about cooking pork all the way through. It's still sort of true, but it's not nearly to the degree that it used to be, just by the way they're raising pigs right now. So you can hear it really, really popping here. Just trying to brown it on the sides. And that's a secret to a good pork chop or any good cut of meat, is getting it brown. It is, the proverbial brown food tastes good. Well, that's why we do this. You can tell the seasoning is browning nicely. Another thing you have to watch out for is putting too much oil in this, because we're going to pop it in the oven and it sometimes will smoke, and if it smokes, it's going to set my smoke detector off for sure. So I'm pretty happy right now with how these are browned. So what we're going to do now is pop them in the oven. Watch the handle, because if you use a cast iron, the handle will be hot. And just put it on. Once again, we're going to be using a 10-minute timer, and probably 5 minutes into it, flipping on each side. So we've had the pork chops in the oven for about 10 minutes. Like I said, it's a convection oven, so it's going to cook faster. So there you go. We have golden brown, nice and plump pork chops. You can see what I was saying there. They plumped in the middle and they have a little bit of a give. So you know they're not undercooked, but because they haven't shrunk in the middle, you notice they're not overcooked also. So that's pretty much what I do with my pork chops. The nice thing about browning them first on the stove is it starts the cooking process. And like I said, I use a convection oven, so it cuts the cooking time down about a third. So you would probably want to do this for 15 to 17 minutes. If you want to use a meat thermometer, you can. It should be somewhere right around 180 degrees. Hope this helped. If you enjoy it, feel free to share. Look forward to your comments.